Hello, my name is SW Miron and welcome to Glass Skulls. Thank you for being here with us. If you are returning from last week, thank you so much for coming back. You totally rock. And if you're brand new, if you somehow just stumbled upon this channel and you clicked on this video and here you are, I'm happy to have you. Welcome. Happy you're here. I am going to be talking about the strategy of protecting your peace as the first one that we really dive into as one that can help folks with mental illness. Um, Before we get into the protecting your peace stuff, I wanted to share two different things that I didn't share in the first video, I don't think. So first of all, I am a very open person. I wrote my memoir is literally like I wrote down every piece of trauma I've experienced in my whole life and I put it out for the whole world to read. So I'm clearly pretty brave. That doesn't mean that I'm fearless. Being brave means being afraid but doing it anyway. And I wanted to write this book because I wanted to help other people. So hopefully it continues to help other people because I know it is. I know there's people that have reached out and are using the strategies and their life is improving, and that is amazing. So that's what I'm here for. Okay, I'm very passionate about just mental illness at large and just the way society kind of deals with folks who have mental illness and battle that. We are mental health warriors. We are literally in war zones, trenches, think grenades and bombs and, bullets and all kinds of stuff like that. Like, we are literally suiting up, putting on our armor, and fighting every single day. Think about that for a second. Every single day. So forever. That's forever. That's a really big pill to swallow. But there is always hope. And that is the number one reason that keeps me going. It's the thing that drives me. It's my why. It's just knowing that hope is the most powerful force on this planet. I believe that with my whole heart. If I didn't, I would not be alive. There certainly have been many times in my life that I felt very hopeless. And it was really hard for me to find that hope, I guess. And the way that I found it, to be honest, is through this organization called To Write Love on Her Arms. So think of literally like to write love on her arms, as if you're writing on an arm. Check them out. They have some amazing blogs, resources, connects to different mental health professionals. They always have such beautiful messages and inspiring messages that are motivational for people with mental illness, or to keep us going, to keep us fighting this fight, because it is exhausting. It sucks. It's so unfair. Like, so unfair. But bitching about it's not really going to fix it. So we use our strategies. One thing I did want to point out before we go further, in case anyone didn't know this, I am not a mental health professional. So I am not a mental health counselor. I am not a social worker. I am not a psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a mental health, like I'm none of these things. So please don't take my word as if a doctor or a therapist or one of these professionally trained individuals, if they gave you advice, don't take my advice like as if it's equal to theirs. Okay, I have some strategies that I've learned from those professionals that certainly I hope you can take those strategies and use those. But aside from that, I just want to just make that very, very clear so that everybody understands and nobody is thinking that they're listening to someone talk that is like a psychologist or something and isn't. I want to start on protecting your peace by reading you an excerpt from chapter 5 in Scenes from My Skeleton Closet. You will learn this about me very quickly. Loyalty is everything to me. Heart means everything to me. Nobody wants to be loyal to a liar or to someone who might gossip about you and say hurtful things behind your back and then look you dead in the eye as if nothing ever happened. That all brings me such a horrific taste of disgust. I have high expectations for how I am willing to allow myself to be treated by anyone, let alone my family. If you can't meet the standard, you're gone. Just making sure you got that one. If you can't meet the standard, you're out. Gone. Gone, gone, gone. I'll block numbers, social media, erase the person from my radar as if they literally died. I know my husband is no stranger to this phenomenon. I'm speaking of either. Blood doesn't mean family. Simple. I want you to remember you can do hard things, and I want you to remember that you can do things that you never even imagined possible. You just have to push yourself. So that's just a little bit of chapter 5 from Scenes from My Skeleton Closet. I said a few kind of heavily loaded statements there. I'm going to start with breaking down blood does not mean family, because I feel like there are certainly people that have an opposite view on this, which I honor that, and you respectfully, like anybody who thinks that, that's just fine. That's just fine. But in my experience, there have been people around me in my world while I was growing up that there was so much trauma that I was exposed to. And like some of the people were family. So it's like, if your family is the one that's bringing you the pain, you're just going to keep them around because, well, we're blood, we're related. So, we have to just deal with it. Excuse me, what? No. There are so many ways that you can protect your peace. And it doesn't have to be as hardcore as I kind of do it. Because for me, I had the recommendation given to me from my therapist that I've been with since I was literally a 12-year-old girl. I'm 35 now. I still see her every Monday of my life. So the protecting of your peace and like blocking people on social media, blocking people's phone numbers. I mean, doing that is obviously like it's pretty hardcore, right? I mean, it's drastic. It's dramatic. It's like they cannot access you. But that, like, at the time, the work I was doing in therapy was all about just these arguments that I was constantly around, and these situations I was observing where people were just such cruel monsters, stabbing each other in the back and turning the knife with a smile on their face. Like, disgusting. So for me, I needed that. Like, when I got old enough that I could make a choice to say, you know what? I'm an adult now and I can choose who's going to be in my world and who's not, I went with her recommendation right away. Her name's Betsy. That'll probably come up a million times, so I want to share her name. But Betsy recommended that, and I'm so glad she did. Now, I want to share something that's also kind of interesting. You can think about it kind of like this. Picture a tree, and then picture a bunch of branches on the tree. Each branch, imagine, is like your nuclear family. So maybe husband, wife, kids, or husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, or girlfriend, girlfriend, or boyfriend, boyfriend, or we could go on forever. But imagine that those are the branches, and this is like our family tree, right? That's a pretty common metaphor. I like to think about protecting my peace as taking out my chainsaw. Yep, my chainsaw. Because that's what I did. That's what I had to do for self-preservation. I had no other option. At the time, I was so sick and the symptoms I was dealing with were so rough, and I was crying every single day of my life. Like, it was terrible. So you got to get out that chainsaw sometimes. You got to cut the branch if you need to take somebody out of your family, if that's the case. And that's a really hard thing to do. I know I'm talking about it, and I hope I'm not making it sound easy, because it's not. It's friggin' hard as hell, because you have this like weird like guilt thing going on where you're like, but they're my family, but they keep causing me so much pain, but they're my family. But you got to choose you. You deserve to choose you. And like letting these people stay in your universe, it's not good for your mental wellness. It's not. And it's quite likely that your mental illness might get worse the more you're around toxic environments with toxic people in them. Just something to think about. Protecting your peace can also be much simpler things, like deciding, you know what, I'm not going to go to the basketball game anyway because I don't really feel like sitting next to so-and-so who might annoy me and talk my ear off. So I want to just have a peaceful night at home where I can just relax. There you go. Protecting your peace, right? So there's like a spectrum to it. There's the really hard stuff where you have to employ protecting your peace. And then there's the easy stuff that, anybody could do on any given day. So think about some of the things I said today, and think about what is going on in your environment. Think about the people you have in your world. Do a quick check. Determine if they're worthy of getting to have you in their life. Like, really think about that. Take a personal inventory, because if it's somebody that's causing you pain and suffering, if you stay, you will just continue to suffer. And that's just the truth. So I'm going to close today with the lyric that I would have used in chapter 5 if copyright wasn't a big deal with music and books. But the lyric the song is called Parallel Universe. It's by Lauren Spencer Smith. And it says, there is a version of us in a parallel universe where I'm still in love and you never would do the worst thing to a person the world's ever seen. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Next time we will talk about a totally different strategy. So I hope this week you take the opportunity at least once, somehow, some way. Protect your peace. You can do this. You got it. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks.